Hello and welcome to News Round, where you get a recap of top stories that made headlines during the week. Coming up, it was a resounding endorsement for President Bola Tinubu during the All Progressive Congress National Stakeholder Summit as members declare him sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election. And Senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, faces criminal charge in suit filed by the federal government over alleged defamatory remarks made on live television. In River State, also in the spotlight, as President Bola Tinubu submits state's 1.48 trillion naira 2025 budget to National Assembly for consideration. Plus, U.S. President Donald Trump plays up genocide accusation in meeting with South Africa colleague Cyril Ramaphosa. A news round begins with the All Progressive Congress passing a vote of confidence on the administration of President Bola Tinubu, adopting him as a sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election. This followed a motion moved by the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, which was seconded by Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State at the party's national summit, which took place at the State House Conference Center. The National Assembly also passed a similar motion, which was adopted through a voice vote.
It's sort of a mid-term assessment for the ruling All Progressives Congress at this national summit holding at the State House. Those in attendance include President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, members of the National Assembly, ministers, state governors, party leaders, and members of the party from across the country. The National Secretary of the party set out the goal of the forum:
to engage policymakers, legislators, party stakeholders, and APC support groups in evaluating the implementation and gains of the Renew Hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, deliberate progress in national security, including new approach to combat insecurity, and promote national unity across the Federation.
The goodwill messages take a different turn.
We are convinced that the economy is in a better shape today than it was 2 years ago. Consequently, we, as leaders of the party, the All Progressive Congress, and heads of subnational governments in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, have resolved to throw our weight behind Mr. President and to champion his re-election campaign in 2027 for a second term. It is therefore my humble pleasure to move that this August Assembly adopt and concur the position of progressive governors, that Mr. President carries our flag 2027 and governors take responsibility for delivering this mandate. I so move.
I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the chairman of Progressive Governors Forum, the governor of Imo State, His Excellency Hope Uzodinma.
Those in favor of this motion say aye. Aye. Again say nay. The ayes have it. May God bless you.
I move, therefore, as the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that Mr. President be returned, one, as a candidate of the APC honor post, and secondly, as the next president for a second term come 2027. I so move.
I stand on behalf of the whole entire 109 senators, 360 members, and all the 36 speakers and their members to second this very important motion moved by the Senate President as was seconded.
One after the other, ministers presented a scorecard of the administration.
At the moment, there are 4 legacy structures happening, 4 legacy projects. The Lagos-Calabar Highway, the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, the Calabar-Abuja Highway, Superhighway, the Akwanga-Jos Bauchi-Gombe Highway are all just not connecting Nigerians by road. They are not just mere arteries. They are also a statement of the unbinding faith that unity can be achieved in this country.
Over the last 2 years, there have been 503 projects completed in 61 tertiary hospitals to strengthen and optimize all levels of healthcare delivery.
It's not all speeches, however, as participants were also entertained. The national chairman also puts forward a position.
I hereby affirm the various endorsements and declare President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the sole presidential candidate of APC.
The high point is the speech of the president, who touches on the influx of new members from opposition parties.
You don't blame a people bailing out of a sinking ship when they have no life jacket. I'm glad of what we have, and I'm expecting more to come. That is the game.
He also accepts the endorsements, assuring everyone of his determination to do better for the country.
And not complain. To me, I owe you a whole world of gratitude. The endorsement today, the carry-go inspiration, I know road. We will lead you on to that promised land.
The summit ends with party members very optimistic and satisfied with the performance of the government. However, elected officials and political appointees have been encouraged to do more for the country. From the State House, Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
And this may be trying times for Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, as the federal government has instituted a suit against her over alleged defamatory remarks made on live television. The suit filed before a federal Capital Territory High Court on May the 16th, 2025, has Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan as the sole defendant.
In the charge sheet, a copy of which was cited by Channels Television, the federal government accused Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of making imputation, knowing or having reason to believe that such imputation will harm the reputation of a person, an offense contrary to Section 391 of the Penal Code, Cap 89 Laws of the Federation 1990. The offense is punishable under Section 392 of the same law. The federal government further alleged that Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, on or about the 3rd day of April 2025, during the Politics Today program on Channels Television in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, made the imputation against the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. The list of witnesses show that both men will testify during the trial. Also to testify are two investigative police officers, ACP Maya Iliya and SP Abdulafiz Gaba, who will tell the court what role they played in the investigation of the case. Another, Dr. Sandra Duru, is also listed as one of the witnesses.
It was part of the meeting, the discussions Akpabio had with Yahaya Bello that night to eliminate me.
In the live TV interview, Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan had also accused the Senate President and the former Kogi State Governor of plotting to assassinate her. She was quoted as saying, "Let's ask the Senate President why in the first instance did he withdraw my security, if not to make me vulnerable to attacks." He then emphasized that I should be killed, but I should be killed in Kogi. She had concluded by saying, "What is important to me is to stay alive, because dead men tell no tales." Both men had, however, denied the allegations. In another count, Senator Akpoti Uduaghan, on or about the 27th day of March 2025, during a two-way telephone conversation with one Sandra Duru in Abuja, made an imputation concerning Senator Godswill Akpabio by claiming that the girl Imoreni Newbong, who was killed some years ago, had her organs used for the wife of the Senate president who was really ill. The court is yet to fix a date for the arraignment of Senator Akpoti Uduaghan on these charges. Shola Shuyeli, Channels Television News.
And there could be a silver lining for Rivers State, even as the state of emergency continues there. During the week, the president submitted the 2025 appropriation bill for the state to the National Assembly for consideration following the ongoing suspension of a state's House of Assembly. In separate letters addressed to the leadership of the National Assembly, President Bola Tinubu proposed a total of 1.481 trillion naira, with major allocations aimed at revitalizing key sectors.
A significant number of lawmakers are in attendance as plenary resumes, chaired by the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio. A letter from the President, Bola Tinubu, to the Senate emerges as the Senate President reads out his request for expedited consideration.
The distinguished Senate may wish to recall that Rivers State is currently under emergency rule. In the absence of the State Assembly, it's expected that the National Assembly acts on that behalf. The appropriation bill for the year 2025 is in the total sum of 1,481 billion.
The budget, according to the proposal, focuses on strategic investment in infrastructure, healthcare, education and agriculture, with the aim of generating approximately 6,000 new jobs. The Senate has referred the executive bill to its ad hoc committee on emergency rule.
The Senate ad hoc committee to revert to us as soon as practicable.
Similarly, in the House of Representatives, the letter of President Tinubu is read by the Speaker.
324 billion is for infrastructure, both ongoing and new projects. The sum of 166 billion is for health sector.
Infrastructure tops the list with a proposed 324 billion naira, while the health sector is allocated 106 billion naira, including 5 billion naira earmarked for free malaria drugs. The education sector is set to receive 75.6 billion naira, while 31.4 billion naira is proposed for agricultural development.
May God bless you.
Back in the upper chamber, a motion under urgent public importance is raised on the need to address the imbalances in the allocation of 380 billion naira Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund.
And everybody in the country deserves infrastructural development. It is not wise in allocating resources to sometimes over-allocate to one zone at the expense of other zones.
The motion is, however, stepped down.
Every geopolitical zone that you turn to, there will be one issue or the other that they would have wished were handled differently. And by way of also a motion, is to say that we step down further consideration of this motion to allow time for the leadership of this Senate to interface with the Honorable Minister of Water Resources.
The Senate also observed a minute silence in honor of former lawmaker and military administrator, Senator Joseph Akagege, who died on May 19, 2025. The lawmakers poured in tributes for the former legal luminary before dissolving into a closed-door session for a brief meeting and subsequently an early adjournment for the APC National Summit. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Welcome back. Still with the top stories for the week. Over 1,000 delegates gathered in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State for the 2025 NIPR Week to examine the critical role of effective communication in governance process as they seek ways to harness public relations for Nigerian economic relations. The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, appealed to the public relations professionals to key into ongoing efforts and reforms aimed at rebranding the nation's reputation and attracting investors into the country. The event also saw the installation of the chairman of the Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momo, as pioneer chairman of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group.
Chairman of the Channels Media Group, Dr. John Momo, arrives at the Government House in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, for a courtesy call on Governor Umar Eno, before heading to the venue of the 2025 Nigeria Public Relations Week. The governor commends Channels Television for its work in churning out unbiased national and international reports and distinguishing itself as a vanguard of truth and a voice of the people.
We just want to say thank you and want to let you know how much we admire what Channels is doing. Being a vanguard of truth and representing the people. Of course, they say you're the fourth estate of the realm. You watch for the people, the things you do on Channels, the truth you seek to pursue, the balanced story that we get. And sometimes, and again, you see that Channels just likes to present both sides in their issues, and I've always watched with admiration.
Dr. Momo then joins more than 1,000 public relations professionals who converge on Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, for the 2025 Nigeria Public Relations Week. This annual event, the largest gathering of PR practitioners in the country, draws participants from all sectors, including various security agencies.
Chairman, Body of Advisors of the
President and Chairman of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations Council, Dr. Ike Neliaku, emphasizes the critical role of effective communication in governmental success.
The challenge of leadership in Nigeria is partly due to lack of effective communication, because leaders don't take responsibility in sharing their views and their visions with those they are leading. They assume that they know what the people want, and in some cases they fail to lead because they have not done their homework.
Representing the Akwa Ibom state government, the Deputy Governor, Senator Akon Eyakenyi, underscores the importance of public relations in shaping positive public opinion and fostering development.
Here in Akwa Ibom State, we have a robust relationship with the media and public relations practitioners. We see them as partners in our efforts to galvanize our people to arise and take charge of their destiny.
The Minister of Information, Mr. Mohammed Idris, assures participants that the federal government's ongoing reforms are designed to bolster the economy for the benefit of all citizens.
At a time that you are inviting the world to come to you, also be telling the world that your country is not ready for them. You cannot promote your country if you continue to say bad things about your country. Of course, constructive criticisms are always welcome. I'm calling on all Nigerians, the young and the old, the media professionals and everyone. We must come together and speak good about our country. This is the only country that we have.
On the 15th of
A significant highlight of the event is the installation of the chairman, Channels Media Group, Dr. Momo, as the pioneer chairman of the Body of Advisors, Nigeria Reputation Management Group.
I hereby proclaim and formally install Dr. John Reputation Momo, OON, FNIPR, as the pioneer chairman, Body of Advisors of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group.
great innovation. A round of applause of the new bars, the new dawn.
While the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Mr. Adewale Adeniyi, is named Vice Chairman, and Mohammed Abubakar was appointed Secretary.
Our reputation is a collective asset. We must each do our part to protect it. That said, this collective effort must be matched by a serious, consistent commitment from those in leadership. We cannot build trust in Nigeria's image if those entrusted with the responsibility to govern do not lead by example. When institutions function with fairness and competence, citizens become the first ambassadors of their country. When leadership inspires trust, the people follow with pride. The credibility of a nation is only as strong as the credibility of its leaders.
The week also featured posthumous awards honoring deceased members of the NIPR.
And finally, a news round. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted his South African counterpart, Cyril Ramaphosa, at the White House on Wednesday amid tensions between the two countries. The public part of the meeting appeared quite tense after President Trump ambushed his South African counterpart with news and videos to back his claim that South Africa is committing genocide against South African farmers. President Ramaphosa reiterated there's no genocide in South Africa. Despite the tense meeting, Mr. Ramaphosa said his talks with Trump, which focused on trade and investment, went well and called the visit a great success.
Tension ran high at the Oval Office on Wednesday as South African President Cyril Ramaphosa met with U.S. President Donald Trump. The Oval Office meeting began cordially until Trump asked for the lighting to be lowered for a video presentation. The mood shifted. The meeting, intended to mend ties, took an unexpected turn when Mr. Trump ambushed the South African delegation with a video montage alleging white genocide in South Africa.
The mayor of DA in PE is a white man. So these people really want to hit them hard, go after a white man.
President Trump confronted President Ramaphosa about violence against white farmers, claiming the South African government wasn't doing enough to stop it. A visibly uncomfortable Ramaphosa denied these claims, emphasizing that crime affects all races and that his government opposes violence. The video shown by Trump included clips from South African opposition party Economic Freedom Fighters EFF's leader Julius Malema's rallies featuring the song Shoot the Boer, as well as the news stories about the white South Africans fleeing violence and discriminatory laws. President Ramaphosa remained calm, explaining that his government works to reduce violence across all communities.
Well, I think the videos are so... No, when you look at the videos, I mean, how does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land. They take your land and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous look. This is a story recent. These are all people that recently got killed. Yeah. And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are. And you know, the men that you saw, the people that you saw in that movie, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march, they had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
Well, let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately through criminal activity, are not only white.
President Ramaphosa also said that he hoped Mr. Trump would listen to the voices of South Africans when asked by a reporter what it would take for the U.S. leader to be convinced that there is no white genocide in South Africa.
Well, I can answer that for the President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our President will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
Wednesday's meeting came days after the arrival of 59 white South Africans in the U.S., where they were granted refugee status. The meeting highlighted the complexities of U.S.-South African relations, with divergent views on South Africa's racial and security concerns, raising questions about the future of U.S.-South Africa relations.
And those were the top stories for the week. Thank you for watching. I'm Ladi Williams. Bye for now.